SpeedwayPortal.com brings you the next installation from the Andrew Uni Stadium at Smallbrook. Today we see the Wight Warriors take on the Mildenhall Fen Tigers in the National Trophy competition. Taking a look into the pits, we see the away team there for the Fen Tigers. Jon Armstrong, he's unavailable tonight, so it's a six-man team only for the Fen Tigers with their new signing on show of Chris Widman. The Warriors have a brand new signing in the guise of Joe Jacobs, coming in from the Bellevue Aces in the Elite League, where he rides a reserve for them. Many years experience riding in the National League. He covers on a 28-day contract for the injured Benji Compton. And we're now going to go over and talk to Barry, the team manager and promoter. Okay, for the Speedway Portal and the Warriors DVD, we've got stand-in team manager, come promoter, come just about everything. You do all the jobs down here, Barry.
Yeah, so it seems at the moment, that's right, yeah.
And getting very famous as well on social media with Tractor Cam.
Oh, Tractor Cam, Water Cam, we cam anything here. So for me, actually, it gives fans an insight to the other side of Speedway. There's a lot of work that goes on here, not just by me, but by a myriad of people. Sorry, the start just out to rain. And so, you know, allowing our fans to see what goes on is important.
So standing in tonight then as team manager, how do you feel about that?
I've done it a couple of times now, so I like it to a degree, to be honest with you. In this league, there's not so much you could do really as a team manager. Of course, I've always got Kev here if he keeps an eye on me and make sure that I'm doing what little decisions I'm allowed to make properly. Having said that, at Eastbourne we lost two riders quite quickly, so managing the reserve that we had, which rides to take, to make sure we got the best out of him, was an important managerial decisions.
You got a new signing as well, making his debut tonight, Joe Jacobs. How did that one come about?
Well, unfortunately, as you may have read, Benji's broken his scaphoid now, so the x-rays have come back and told us that. So he's going to be out for another 4 weeks. So we've signed Joe as a temporary replacement to cover for him in the short term, and and we'll see how Benji is and when he can make a comeback.
Okay, Barry, wish you all the best tonight then with the Warriors taking on the Fen Tigers.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
And Kev, you were obviously joint team manager under the guise of the Islanders down here not so long ago, and now you've swapped roles. Tell us a bit about your role.
Yeah, I was always keen, to be honest, to be involved once you come back. I mean, it's in your blood, I think, being involved with Speedway. And I sort of took off the promoter and team manager mantle and offered to do Clerk of the course, which, although it doesn't seem much, to be honest, it is a very involved job on the night. You know, second to the meeting referee, you are in charge, if you like, of the whole stadium. If the referee gets taken ill, you end up as the meeting referee. And you know, the state of the track, when it's graded, when it's watered, the behaviour of the riders and all the rest, all comes under your mantle, to be honest. So it is a very responsible job, to be honest. So, but it's enjoyable, but hard work. Enjoyable but hard work. So, would you ever go back to a team manager's position? I would love to go back to a team manager's position, to be honest, because I've never realised just how easy a team manager's life is compared to Clerk of the course. And but yeah, I would love to. I mean, if Barry decided they wanted somebody else to do it and they'd offered me, I'd jump at the chance. To be fair, it's I think it's a great experience. I know a lot of riders still, a lot of fellow team managers. So I mean, I wouldn't hesitate. In your current role, what is your best part of your role and your worst part of your role? I wouldn't say there's a worst part, to be honest. It's all enjoyable to a certain degree. Maybe the worst part is having people complain about the track, which is really out of your sort of control because you don't grade it personally. But the best role is seeing the riders compliment the place at the end of the night, not just for the track but the general surroundings, and how the club's being run now and that side of it. So it's like I say, it is enjoyable, but you're just glad, to be honest, when you can have a pint at the end of the night. Okay, Kev, well, we wish you all the best, and go and kick everyone into action, and good luck tonight. Thanks very much. Tonight we're here with Dan Halsey from Mildenhall Fen Tigers. Dan, you've been with Mildenhall for quite a few years now. Are you looking at moving on to the Premier League at all, and maybe up to the Elite?
The aim was to move up to the Premier League, and the opportunities didn't really come. I had a couple of guest bookings and didn't do as well as I could have done last year, but the aim's still there. Maybe not as much as it was, but if the opportunity comes, I'd definitely like to take it.
You've also ridden for Bournemouth Buccaneers as well a few years ago. What was it like riding on the pool circuit compared to Mildenhall?
I liked it. I think I got the sacked before the end of the season. So, but it was after a couple of good performances. But one of them things, I enjoyed my time there, and yeah, I can't remember what happened. I think the team struggled a little bit, and unfortunately me and a couple of others got the chop.
What's your favourite type of track?
I enjoy Mildenhall to be fair. When Mildenhall's got a bit of dirt on it, it's a pleasure to ride, but sometimes after the stock cars it's a bit of a struggle. But yeah, when they get Mildenhall right, it's probably definitely my best track in the country.
And what are your aims for this season with the Fen Tigers?
It's hard to say really. It's still early on in the season, so you don't really know what the team's going to get up to. We've had a few team changes already due to injuries, but yeah, obviously we're searching for silverware, but whether it comes or not, you don't know. If they ask me again in the middle of the season, I'll be able to give you a better answer.
And how's your form going at the moment?
Up and down, like it has been for the last 5 years. So yeah, at home I'm going all right. I had a bit of a bad one on Sunday for the first time in a while at Mildenhall, but yeah, first time I've seen the track here for a while, and it looks a lot different, and hopefully I have a good meeting.
Are you looking forward to getting out there tonight?
Yeah, probably for once I can say I am. It does look a lot smoother, and it looks wider. I don't know why, but it just looks a little bit different because of the air fence and stuff up. But yeah, it looks good.
Okay, Dan, well, we wish you all the best tonight, and stay safe and knock some points in. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
With Barry Bishop as the team manager for the Wight Warriors this evening, the Fen Tigers team manager is Robert Henry, a former rider himself, and in the referee's box tonight we have Mick Posselwhite from the SCB. The meeting sponsors are Team Warrior, and we thank them as always for their kind sponsorship for the evening. Bit of a windy and blowy evening at Smallbrook tonight as we take a look at the track and have a look at this. And someone said, don't give up your day job.
Well, ladies and gents, we're almost ready to go racing. Time to meet and greet our teams. First of all, tonight, let's welcome the visitors. Where are? Bring them on. Let's have the Mildenhall Fen Tigers. Make your way down, Mildenhall Fen Tigers. Here we go, our visitors tonight. Goes with a high five as a combined high five and 6 points forward. Okay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, are you ready? Time to make some noise. Our boys, our home team, the Wight Warriors. Our new signing at number 7, Chris Widman. Guesting tonight for the Tigers is Springthorpe. The rider replacement for Jon Armstrong. The rider replacement for Jon Armstrong at number 5. In the meantime, number 4, made automotive Cockle. Number 3, Conor Mountain. It's on the break. Let's put 2 and 4. Yeah. It's Govier you're in time, mate. Welcome along. Number 2 is Alfie Bowtell. Pronunciation, Alfie, is that right? Pronunciation. I knew that. Bowtell, Alfie. There you go. Rider number 1, Daniel Halsey. Checking out the track. Signing now and in the house, in the team tonight, Jon Jacobs. Riding the number 2, Kelsey Dugard. Riding number 3 is Louis Smart. Riding number 4, Baseby. Number 5 is the skipper, James Cockle. Number 6 is Saul. He's on the court.
Thanks for the intros, Chris. For Speedway Portal, we're here with the new signing for the Warriors, Joe Jacobs. Joe, how did it come about, you coming down to the island?
Oh, I heard from Neil Vatcher a few times. Obviously, I have had lack of meetings with the Elite League, being at Bellevue. Yeah, they've struggled to get the kind of track to be right, as I'm sure everyone knows. yeah, it's kind of just got the call, and I need to fill my schedule in a little bit. I've been riding once every 2 weeks, and it hasn't been ideal. The opportunity came up, and it's something I couldn't really say no to. So,
Obviously, riding in the Elite League and then the National League as well, there's quite a difference between the two leagues. How do you find that kind of difference?
Yeah, obviously you want to beat everyone and stuff, and it is hard in the Elite League, especially this year. I think with every reserve, even they're kind of good Premier League riders, so it is difficult. Ideally, I want to be in the Premier League, so we'll just see how this goes and take it as it comes, and hopefully some Premier League will come up really. And ideally, I want to be pushing Premier League, Elite League full time, but we'll see what happens. Like I say, it's all learning, and it's good track time to even be racing here. It's good track and good setup, so hopefully it'll go well.
You've also spent many years as a Mildenhall rider as well, and seems a little bit ironic tonight your debut is against them. What are your feelings about that?
Yeah, I think I actually guested for Isle of Wight. I think it was in 2013 before I had a year out. At the end of the season, I think you won some trophy or another, and that was against Mildenhall. I think I maxed out that meeting. So it's same again here tonight. Obviously, don't really look who I'm racing against. It's just try and beat everyone. But yes, should be good.
After taking time out of the sport, how long does it take you to get back into the groove and back racing again?
Oh, I don't think you ever forget. I've been just struggling really, I think, through lack of meetings, to be honest. It hasn't been ideal. I've kind of taken a different approach this year and a lot more laid back and relaxed about racing and everything in general, really. So I'm sure the more meetings that come about, I'm going to be staying busy and should enjoy it.
And sponsors obviously play a big part in any Speedway rider's season. How does that go for you? How do you attract sponsors?
Oh, luckily I've kind of kept in touch with all of my sponsors. I've lost a couple, which is a shame. But obviously just try and be as professional as you can be and get your name out there and do everything right, and hopefully you kind of get the support that you want. So like I say, I'm thankful to all the sponsors who have stuck by me and kind of got me going this year. It wouldn't be possible without them, and wouldn't be possible to ride without them. So like I say, it wouldn't be possible, so thanks to all of them.
And the machinery that you've got here, your bikes that you've got here, are these new, or have you bought them from Elite League riders? Or?
Yeah, I got a couple of Scott Nicholls rollers from last season. I sold the majority of my stuff. I kept a couple of engines and whatnot, but yeah, I sold basically everything on my rolling chassis. I kept one. So I got these two this year. I got a new engine off Cargo. Got that built for Bellevue, to be honest. So it's more for the bigger tracks. So I've kind of heavily invested in equipment. And like I say, again, that wouldn't be possible without the sponsors. So thanks to all of them. And like I say, everything's going well with them, and just got to get on them and keep riding.
And finally, the Bellevue track. What is that like to race on?
Yeah, I've only done one meeting there, so it is awesome, to be honest. It's probably the best track, I would say. Best venue in the country. They've done an awesome job, and everything about it is just incredible. Everyone should get there if they haven't been there yet. It's going to obviously host the World Cup, and I think it's going to get some great racing. I think the more it's ridden, the better the racing's going to get. Obviously, everything's all fresh at the moment. But when it gets going, it's certainly going to be an awesome track. It's big and just like a Polish track, really. So it is something special.
Okay, Joe, we wish you all the best tonight on your debut then for the Warriors. Thank you very much for your time. Speedway Portal bringing you the national trophy fixture between the Wight Warriors and the Mildenhall Fen Tigers from the Andrew Uni Stadium at Smallbrook. Heat number one just about to get underway. Riders coming up to tapes for the first time this evening, and heat number one is sponsored by Jason Waring. And riding for the Warriors in red, going from gate 4 is Joe Jacobs. His partner in blue from gate 2, Kelsey Dugard. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate 3 is Dan Halsey. And his partner in yellow from gate 1 is Alfie Bowtell. The Warriors, they won the coin toss and elected to take gates 2 and 4 in heat number 1. And that means that the Fen Tigers, they will have the top pick in heat number 15. Meeting sponsors today, that is Team Warrior. So we thank Team Warrior for their kind sponsorship. And as always, the team sponsor for the Warriors is SBS EPOS. As the tapes go and rise for heat number 1. Popping out front is the rider in red then, Joe Jacobs on his debut, a new signing for the Warriors. Rides in the Elite League for Bellevue Aces, and he's come down here as we see a faller there in the yellow helmet colour. That's Alfie Bowtell, and he gets back up very quickly, pushing his machine onto the centre green, but it's still Jacobs out front from Dan Halsey. Dan's been with the Fen Tigers for some years now, and he's looking very steady out there tonight. And in the third place there in blue, Kelsey Dugard. Bowtell's got himself going again, almost a lap behind. Jacobs chasing him down just the length of straight here at Smallbrook. As we go into the last lap then for Jacobs, and it's still Halsey in second, Dugard back in third, and 3/4 of a lap behind then the Bowtell in yellow. So the Warriors then, they're going to take a heat advantage in heat number 1, 4 big points for them and 2 to the Fen Tigers. Race winner in red, Joe Jacobs. Second place for the Fen Tigers in white, Dan Halsey. Third place for the Warriors in blue, Kelsey Dugard. And we'll have another look at Alfie Bowtell sliding off there. Riders coming out for heat number 2, and that is sponsored by ourselves, speedwayportal.com. Check us out on there. We are the media channel for the Warriors, and check all the different things: Speedway Grand Prix, the World Cup finals, the best pairs, testimonials, interviews, all sorts of things. Everything Speedway you can find on speedwayportal.com. Also follow the portal on Twitter at Speedway Portal. Very simple. For the Warriors in heat 2 in red, going from gate 1 is Matt Saul. In blue is partner Tyler Govier from gate 3. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate 2 is Lee Springthorpe, and his partner in yellow from gate 4 on the outside there is Chris Widman. Tapes rise then for heat number 2, and getting a flyer from the start there is the Warriors, Tyler Govier in blue, backed up by his teammate Matt Saul at the moment, and back in third is Chris Widman. And we've got another tumbler there on turn 4 as well. Hitting the track is Lee Springthorpe. He's up, and another tumbler as well down on turn number 2. There is Tyler Govier. Red lights are on. Our referee today, Mick Posselwhite, he's stopped the race in the interest of safety. So we take another look at Tyler going out a little wide and sliding into the safety fence. The bike going and getting a little bit jammed under. Good to see him up. No further injury at the moment, but we'll let you know further on in the meeting once he's been looked over by the medics. Making his way back to the pits after receiving medical attention there. So we go back at long last and for the rerun of heat number 2, sponsored by ourselves, speedwayportal.com. Unfortunately there, Tyler Govier, he's withdrawn from the meeting after taking that tumble on the first turn. We wish him all the best for a speedy recovery. Not too sure of his injuries at this present moment in time. Rider in yellow, he was also excluded from the rerun, Chris Widman, for not being under power at the time of the stoppage of heat number 2. So it's a 2-rider race only. Back to the old match race days. For the Warriors in red, Matt Saul from gate 1, and for the Fen Tigers in white, Lee Springthorpe. Very tight there going into turn 1. Little mistake though from Saul. See Springthorpe take the advantage then in heat number 2. Saul up high and wide. Unfortunately, it didn't work for him that time. Then coming down the home straight, looking around the outside of turn 1. Will he make it? Springthorpe holds on at the moment. Saul has another look going into the back straight. Springthorpe still at him. And going around the outside as well. Oh, yes, he just makes it there. Going over the start-finish line. So the Warrior in red, a reserve Matt Saul there taking the advantage, and Springthorpe there easing off, going rounds 3 and 4. Into the last lap they go for heat number 2. So coming across the line and taking the checkered flag and the win, and 3 valuable points there for the Warriors. Matt Saul in red. And second place, coasting across the line for the Fen Tigers in white, Lee Springborn, 2 points to him. Progressively then the Warriors now move on to 7 points, and the Fen Tigers on to 4. Riders coming out for heat number 3. This one's sponsored by Cobra's Garage Mile. For the Warriors in red from gate number 4 is Lee Smart. His partner in blue from gate 2, Mark Baseby. The Fen Tigers rider in white from gate 1 is Connor Mountain, and his partner in yellow from gate 3, Connor Coles. Premier League track record down here. Smallbrook was by Jason Bunyan on the 15th of April 2008, 66.3 seconds. National League record was by Adam Roynan, 66.4 seconds from the 24th of July 2012. Fastest this season is James Shane's 69.7, which was also on the 21st of April this year. Connor Coles for the Fen Tigers, coming from a good old Speedway family. Michael Coles, Bob Coles, had great years down at the Exeter Falcons, and Connor has actually represented the Falcons in challenge matches over the last few years. Problem with the start tapes down there. Start Marshal having a little tinker. Hopefully we'll be underway and the gates will be okay. Keep up to date with the Wight Warriors as well with their website, the official website. Those 3 W's and the .wightwarriors.co. You can also follow on Twitter at Island Speedway, and also if you check out the Facebook Island Speedway Wight Warriors Supporters Club, and join the group there and interact with like-minded supporters for the Warriors. Last and underway. The start marshal goes up, go the tapes. Quickly away is the rider in blue then, Baseby for the Warriors. Very tight round, turns 2 there. Coles and Smart there juggling about between themselves. Coles getting the advantage. And now Connor Mountain getting up nice and close and tight to Smart. But still out front is Baseby. Smart now having another look around the outside as they go into the top corner. Still Baseby out in front, dictating the race as they go. Coles looks one way, then the other way. Smart is right on his exhaust pipe. Will he get a chance to use that banking to full advantage? Doesn't go high enough to get the speed he needs though to get up on level terms with Coles. But going into turn 1, here we go, he's not far behind. He cuts back inside. Has he got the speed along the back straight? No, he hasn't. So once again, into the top turns. Checkered flag and a win for the Warriors rider in blue, Mark Baseby. Second place, Fen Tigers, Connor Coles in yellow. And the third place for the Warriors, Lee Smart. So another 4 points for the Warriors, 2 for the Fen Tigers. Progressively, the Warriors now move on to 11 and the Fen Tigers on to 6.
race there between all four riders. In yellow black is Chris Widman. Chris Widman, yellow black.
Just about ready to get underway with heat number 4. This one is in memory of Roy Bomber Belcher. For the Warriors, in red is skipper going from gate number 4, James Cockle. In blue, we've got the reserve change replacing the injured Tyler Govier. We see Matt Saul come back out for his first reserve ride of the evening, replacement ride of the evening, I should say. For the Fen Tigers, the absent Jon Armstrong, rider replacement being operated, and we see the impressive Connor Coles coming in the white helmet colour from gate 3. And his partner in yellow from gate number 1 is Chris Widman. Start marshal walks away, up go the tapes. Big jump there at the start, but he's out in front. That's Cockle for the Warriors. Coles tucks in for second place in white for the Fen Tigers, and taking a look high and wide right at the back though is Chris Widman, trying to get on terms there with Matt Saul in blue. But Cockle powering away at the front. Nice little gap opening up for Cockle, leading right away there from Connor Coles in white. And a steady gap until you see Matt Sola in blue. Still no change in the positions. Although Widman there trying to get a bit of speed out of the last turn, but they're into the last lap now. And the Warriors look set to gain another 2 points over the opponents tonight from Suffolk. And taking the win in red, James Cockle for the Warriors. Second place for the Fen Tigers, rider in white, Connor Coles. And getting the third place just on the line there, rider in yellow for the Fen Tigers, Chris Widman. Earlier this afternoon, the injured Warriors star Brandon Johnson gave us an insight into turn 3 down at Smallbrook, and his track talk went a little like this.
Welcome to part 2 of my track knowledge here at the Isle of Wight. As you can see, I'm stood here on the third bend, which is the hardest bend here to take as a rider. As you can see behind me is the back straight, which leads into the third bend. Today, with the wind and the conditions where they're watering the track a lot, will pay a big difference in how the track rides during the meeting. It's like no other in the UK because you're carrying that much speed into the turn. You've got to make sure that the lines that you achieve on entry are perfect, because you essentially want to be running up the banking here, which is something unlike any other track. So if you follow me down here to the inside of the bend, you'll start to see the camber, which slowly builds up, and as you go round the corner it gets higher the closer to the fence you get. With track conditions here today, the wetter spots of the track, which you will see, will not pay that much dividends to how it affects the bikes. For example, when you enter the bend here, you want to be getting a smooth run and a nice straight line up to the end of the banking, and then try and get your wheels in line so you can get back down with as much speed and you're not scrubbing any of the speed off that you take into the turn. That's how you get past here at the Isle of Wight. You've got to make sure you're consistently building your speed to enable you to find the fastest way around the track. So if you walk with us here, you will see there are soft points in the track, which as a rider you'd be aiming for to be able to catapult you into the turn. Your bike will literally hit it, the back wheel stopping it, and it will drive you in. The banking here is like no other in the UK, so you've got to make sure that you run into it and up towards the fence without scrubbing your speed, and when you get to it, just a slight tweak of the bike, your body position, and you're back down the slope, and that's the best way around here.
Sponsored by TB Motorcycles. 2 minutes on the county down. Lead on 5.
Riders coming up for heat number 5. This one's kindly sponsored by TB Motorcycles. Warriors rider in red from gate 1 is Lee Smart. His partner in blue from 3 is Mark Baseby. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate 4, Dan Halsey, and his partner in yellow from gate 2 is Alfie Bowtell. So Baseby, he ran away with his first heat victory in heat number 3. Very untroubled race, that one for him. We'll see if he gets more of the same in this one, as Halsey's had a second place so far. Alfie Bowtell failed to score, and Lee Smart, he got a 3rd place in his first outing. Up go the tapes in for heat number 5, and straight away flying out that start is Lee Smart. Baseby tucking in for 2nd place. 5 points on the board then at the moment for the Warriors, but taking a look around the outside, he's going high. Now he cuts back, he's Dan Halsey for the Fen Tigers, and he passes Baseby just on the inside. You see the chalk dust going up there from the white line, and he's a man on a mission. Inside Smart he goes, as does Baseby, so it's all changed here at the moment with Halsey in 1st place. 2nd place is Baseby, 3rd is now Bowtell, and pulling up out of the back there is Smart. So at the moment we're on a heat advantage for the Fen Tigers for the first time this evening. Into the last lap, Halsey looking very fast and smooth out there. Baseby not too far behind him, doesn't look like he's going to be able to take him though in this one. So as Halsey makes a mistake there, goes very wide, and Baseby comes home there to get the 1st place for the Warriors. Excellent stuff there. He never gives up, does Mark Baseby, the winner, race winner in blue for the Warriors in heat number 5. 2nd place, very unlucky, making that mistake there on the final turn. In white for the Fen Tigers, Dan Halsey. And 3rd place, bringing up the rear for the Fen Tigers in yellow, Alfie Bowtell. Share of the points once again, 3 points apiece, which now sees the Warriors move on to 17 points, and the Fen Tigers, they move on to 12. Taking a look down on the track as we see there, Martin Widman joining in the track staff. As we said a few moments ago, getting stuck in and raking the track. Great to see the promoters down here at the Isle of Wight. They get stuck in with every single job that is required to keep these meetings running.
Take the victory.
Moving on to heat number 6, and for the Warriors in the red from gate 2 is Joe Jacobs. His partner in blue, Kelsey Dugard from gate 4. For the Fen Tigers, rider replacement ride being taken by Connor Mountain from gate 1 in white, and his partner in yellow from gate 3, Lee Springthorpe. Heat number 6, sponsored by My First Skid. Up go those tapes. Flying away is Joe Jacobs for the Warriors. His partner in blue is Kelsey Dugard, battling away there in 3rd place. But for the Fen Tigers, rider replacement ride here for Connor Mountain. He's into 2nd place. At the rear, though, is rider in yellow for the Fen Tigers, Lee Springthorpe. Well spread out, very even in heat number 6 then as we go into lap number 2. And My First Skid is a chance for anyone to come down here to Smallbrook and have a go on a bike and see what it's actually like to ride a speedway bike. Those practice days, they will be getting underway very, very soon. Keep your eyes peeled on the Wight Warriors website, wightwarriors.co. As Jacobs, untroubled out front in this one, goes into the last lap. Riders very tailed off in this one. Mountain still in 2nd place, Dugard in 3rd, and bringing up the rear is Springthorpe. Taking the checkered flag for the Warriors in red, Joe Jacobs, and for the Fen Tigers, 2nd place in white, Connor Mountain. 3rd place for the Warriors in blue, Kelsey Dugard. 4 points for the Warriors, 2 to the Fen Tigers. Now sees the Warriors move on to 21, and the Fen Tigers, they move on to 14.
Ladies, Shepherd's Horses, each 7, it lines up like this. For the visitors tonight, the Mildenhall Fen Tigers in yellow and black. Here's the skipper, Connor Coles.
We move on to heat number 7, kindly in memory of the late E. Shepherd. 7 points up then, the Warriors are at the moment, as we look for the rider in red there from gate number 1, James Cockle. Partner in blue from gate number 3, Matt Saul. And looks like he's going to be taking 7 rides tonight, as we've just heard that Lee Smart has been withdrawn from the meeting. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate number 2, Connor Mountain, and his partner in yellow, Connor Coles from gate 4. Both of those riders looking fairly impressive on their early showings this evening. Off we go then once again. It's the rider in blue. Saul getting to the front, but coming up the inside, will he make it stick? It's Connor Mountain, but Saul hangs on. Mountain again has a look around the inside of the top turns. He does as Saul goes up high and wide, and everybody else overtakes him, but Saul comes back. We've now got Mountain first place. We've got Coles in second. Having a look around the outside is Cockle in red. Can he make it? No, he can't. And dropped right to the back then is Saul in blue. So Cockle still battling for that second place. Will he be able to get inside his opponent, his Fen Tiger, Connor Coles in yellow? Meanwhile, Connor Mountain still out front, powering away out the front, and bringing up the back is Matt Saul. So Cockle is still trying there down the home straight, trying to get the speed up. Having a look on the inside here. Around turn 1 and 2, doesn't make it. Coles holds on, going down the back straight. And Cockle again having a look around the inside, but not enough speed there this time for the Warrior. So that means the race result there and the win for the Fen Tigers rider in white, Connor Mountain. In second place there, Connor Coles in yellow, and third place for the Warriors in red, James Cockle. 1 point for the Warriors, then moves them on to 22. 5 points for the Fen Tigers. Closes the gap now, moves them on to 19 points.
Come on then, let's make some noise for the boys while the terraces they can ease.
Moving on to heat number 8. This one's sponsored by Haha Training. For the Warriors in red is Kelsey Dugard going off gate number 3. His partner in blue is a reserve change, going from gate number 1, Matt Saul. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate 4 is Alfie Bowtell. His partner in yellow from gate 2 is Chris Widman. Clouding over a bit down here at Smallbrook this evening. Possibility of rain has been forecast, so we just hope that stays away and doesn't get involved in the decisions and runnings of this meeting this evening. So Matt is going to be very, very busy here. This is his 4th ride in 8 heats. You can only take a maximum of 7 rides, so we're going to be looking at dropping a ride or 2 off further in the meeting. But those tapes, they rise for the start of heat number 8, and powering to the front there in red is Dugard. And the 2 Fen Tigers tuck in, Widman in yellow, Bowtell in white. Saul having a bit of a problem there on the first turns. Looks like he will probably pull over. He keeps rolling around at the back, but taking up the inside there is Widman, going past Dugard there on the second lap. Widman seems to have found his racing boots for this one. Pulling away from Dugard in red. This one's going to give an advantage once again, if it stays like this, to the Fen Tigers, and put them within a point of the Warriors. Pulling over then is Saul there in along the home straight. As we're into the last lap. And taking the checkered flag, Widman in yellow for the Fen Tigers and 3 points to him. Second place Dugard in red and 2 points to him. And third place in white, Alfie Bowtell in white for the Fen Tigers, and a point for him. So heat advantage, 4 points then for the Fen Tigers, 2 to the Warriors, which now sees the Warriors on to 24 and the Fen Tigers on to 23. And before our next heat, we go and see our team Warrior, the meeting sponsors, and they're going to introduce themselves and tell you all about the things that they do down here to help us at Smallbrook.
Hi, I'm Jason Worthing from Yorkshire, Sheffield Tigers and Isle of Wight Speedway fan. First got involved with Speedway back in the 80s, everybody knows when it used to be on World of Sport. Then really lost it, we were going through all the army and work and everything. In he got disillusioned with football, and one night just flick it through Sky, and of all the teams it were Poole and Swindon, and forgot all about Speedway, thought it had gone. From there I got into the GPs, first one in Cardiff in 2012, and then just from years and years of that, finally this year in April met Barry Bishop in the Malone's pub in Warsaw after the GP. Got talking. Didn't really know who Barry was, unfortunately, quite embarrassing because he is a speedway rider. And he asked me if I'd be interested in getting involved with the Isle of Wight Speedway. Jumped at the chance. The guy's infectious. It's amazing what him and Marty's done here. Is credit to them both, and I just couldn't say no really. And then he offered me more than being a fan as a sponsor. The first race throughout the season, I thought it was one, but the more we talked, the more I just loved the guy, loved the way he was going with the speedway, what he wanted to do, why he was bringing it back. Like I said, the guy's infectious. I just wanted to get involved, and my first visit was back in September with the rest of the Warriors, working on the track. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Back here again, December time. Weather's quite nice actually, but again, we're in the pits, we're getting this all clean now. Rider meeting tonight, and the track's looking amazing. The people involved are amazing. Please get involved, get down here. Been a lot of effort, a lot of investment. The team looks fantastic. All eager, wanted to please, and we're in for a good season. 26 season will be the Warrior season.
Kevin Shepherd, I live on the island. Previous promoter and team manager of the Islanders in the National League. Did it for 5 years, which I thoroughly enjoyed doing the job. It's absolutely superb racetrack. Probably the best racetrack in the country, to be fair. And the facilities are second to none. It's the thing I really love about the island is that everybody's so friendly. It's cracking sports. It's a real family sport, and that it's when it sort of closed eventually, I was gutted, to be fair. And I must admit, I was probably one of those who never thought that it would ever return. But thanks to the hard work of Barry and Marty mainly, but obviously a lot of other people, it's great to see it back here, and people are coming out and helping Marty and Barry get the track looking good. And let's get on there and get them racing and get the Warriors back on the track.
I come here with my dad. I've been twice now just to see what he's been getting involved with him and Barry, and it's really good to see the amount of people that have turned out to come and help, that want to get the Island Speedway back running again. It's the first time I've been. The last time I never saw my brother race, but I know he enjoyed the track, and it was always a good day out for everyone. And just being down here meeting the people, it's been great to meet everyone, meet new people. Today we've been tidying up the pits, just painting, building some benches up, getting them all ready so they're tidy for the start of the season, and then any other track work that's needed doing, just tidying it all up.
Okay, hi, I'm Andy Perrin. I'm basically co-owner of Back on Track, which is a mobile spares off-road shop. I basically met Barry about 6 years ago, whilst I was sponsoring and mechanicking for a young, up-and-coming rider, and we'd lost touch for a while. And obviously, this project was in the middle of a conversation, and I actually came up with the idea that the way I could put something back into the sport from where I left off was to come in as a sponsor, to sponsor consumables. And furthermore, he told me about his own speedway school. So we basically sat down and decided that I could fulfill a role there, help out with the prep and the servicing of the bikes, and go on from there. And they brought me to Smallbrook, to show me a bigger picture, and this is where we are now.
And how many bikes have you had to service and get ready for the skid school?
Okay, for the skid school, servicing the bikes has taken place over the last 2.5 months. I think we've got now 7 adult 500cc bikes, and I think we've got 9 junior motorcycles ranging from a 125cc up to a 150.
And when the people come for the skid school, will they be able to have higher crash helmets and boots and stuff and levers?
Yeah,
or
all of the kit is going to be accessible, and we're open to anything. We will, hire on a both daily basis if we're running both days. We will have a total novice turnout, and we'll also have the experienced riders that can come to the track and just pay to ride with their own equipment.
And we were talking earlier about riding. You've been a rider yourself, I believe.
I raced grass track from 82 until 85. Got into a little bit of speedway, and then came away from the sport. Got back into it in 96, but at the time I was in a different job altogether, and insurance has played a big part, and couldn't get any insurance, so basically came out of retirement and back into it and out of it, and went on to enduro, motocross and enduro.
And do you think you're going to get yourself on this track at some point?
I probably think I will find myself on this track, and hopefully not through Turn 4 Fens where we're stood at the moment, which which I think, with my experience, I have actually found, quite a lot of the time. But no, we've got an absolutely fantastic stadium now. We've all pulled together. We've got a lot of outside interest and people that have just been turning up here to actually come and do some voluntary work and put something into the sport, which it has actually been missing for the last few years.
So you can't wait to really get cracking then when March comes?
We can't wait at all. The pit area, that you've actually been in today has basically been revamped. The weather at the moment, the last 2 days, has held us up a bit on the track, and with the promotional party tonight and some of the riders coming down, it'd be an absolutely fantastic turnout to see.
Super, thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Lisa, I'm Barry's partner. I was introduced to Speedway when I first started going out with him, probably about 6 years ago now. I love his enthusiasm for bringing back Speedway to the Isle of Wight. I love the passion of all the people that are in the Warriors team. We've had some great weekends down here working hard to bring the track back to its former glory, and it's great, and tonight is great, the party's great, and can't wait for the Speedway season next year.
My name's Hazel and I'm a partner of Jason. Jason's a sponsor, and I met Jason just about the same time Jason met Barry and Lisa in Warsaw, and I've become a part of the Speedway Warriors here on the Isle of Wight because I love Jason and Jason loves Speedway, and I'm proud to be a part of this.
And you can't wait for the Speedway season to start?
I can't wait for this.
And you love Speedway?
We love Speedway.
Doldal Negri, sponsors of Heat Number 9, sees a no rider for the Warriors in red. In blue, Warrior, Mark Baseby from gate number 1, the Fen Tigers rider replacement in white, Dan Halsey, his partner in yellow, Lee Springthorpe from gate 4. As we see Halsey there, spring right to the front in this one. Baseby tucking in for second place. Will he be able to get the better of Halsey? Halsey powers away, he's using those bends to full advantage around 3 and 4. Baseby's no stranger to going up high and putting on the power. But at the moment it looks like Halsey is very safe. Heat number 9. So if it stays this way, then the Fen Tigers, they are going to take the lead in the meeting for the first time by a single point. Halsey makes a little slip and a mistake there, allowing Baseby to get a little bit closer, but they're into the last lap. It's an awful lot to ask of Baseby. Will he be able to do it as he powers out of turn 2? It's all about that top turn. And the win then goes to the Fen Tigers rider in Wight, and a rider replacement ride from Dan Halsey, 3 points to him. 2 points for the Warriors rider in blue, Mark Baseby, and bring up rear in yellow, and 1 point is Lee Springthorpe. 2 points then for the Warriors, 4 for the Fen Tigers. Now seems the Warriors move on to 26, and the Fen Tigers take the lead on to 27.
Cockle's the rider in yellow and black, team skipper for the Mildenhall Fen Tigers. His partner White is Connor Mountain, lining up now for the Isle of Wight Warriors.
Moving on to heat number 10 in memory of the late Shazzy Bird. For the Warriors in red, Joe Jacobs from gate number 3. 2 rides, 2 wins so far on his debut. Partnering him in blue from gate number 1 is Kelsey Dugard. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate 4, Connor Mountain, and his partner in yellow from gate 2, Connor Coles. Those tapes rise, and a lightning start there for Connor Mountain. Looking impressive tonight for the Fen Tigers. Being chased down by Jacobs in red for the Warriors. Jacobs has a little look up the inside there, but Mountain, he holds on. At the back is Dugard. Will he be able to get on terms with Coles? It looks a little bit unlikely at the moment, but Speedway's a funny old sport, you never know. Jacobs trying inside, outside around the top turns as he tries to get on terms with Mountain. But coming through into third place is Dugard with Coles there. Getting a little problem, slowed right down and coasting. Great battle out front with Mountain and Jacobs. Last lap it is. Do or die time now. Jacobs has really got to go for it. Taking a great look around the inside. Can he get the speed? He can't. Mountain takes the win then for the Fen Tigers from Joe Jacobs in red for the Warriors, and coasting over for third place for the Warriors, Kelsey Dugard. Share of the points, 3 points apiece. We now see the Warriors move on to 29, and the visitors, the Fen Tigers, they move on to 30. Still that 1 point lead for them. Sponsored by Sharp, this is heat number 11. For the Warriors in red, James Cockle going from gate number 2. Partnered in blue from gate 4 by Matt Saul. Busy boy tonight, this is his 5th ride, heat number 11. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate 1 is Dan Halsey, and in yellow from gate 3, Alfie Bowtell. Looking along the programme, looks like Matt's going to be back out in heat number 12. He's programmed to be out in heat number 14 as well, and that will give him 7 rides, the maximum that a rider can have. We hope that Lee Smart and Tyler Govier are both withdrawn from the meeting. We hope they both recover as quickly as possible, and it'll be good to see them back on their bikes racing around the Andrew Uni Stadium here at Smallbrook. So a little bit of fidgeting over there at the tapes. Star Marshal walks away, green lights on, up go those tapes. And getting the initial jump is James Cockle, followed around by Dan Halsey, having a look around the inside, but Cockle holds on, going down the back straight. Third place Alfie Bowtell with Matt Saul there at the back. Oh, and there's a horrible looking crash there between the 2 Fen Tigers men coming down. Halsey and left nowhere for Bowtell to go. We'll have a look at the replay of that one, and we hope those riders are going to be able to carry on in the rest of the meeting. So here we see the riders at the moment. There's Dan Halsey going down in with the white helmet, and laying down and colliding straight into him there in yellow is Alfie Bowtell. So obviously both riders looking in a bit of discomfort. The rider in yellow there getting up to his feet, Alfie Bowtell. So that's good to see Dan Halsey then making his way back to the pits unaided. Lovely to see. So will he be back out for his next ride in heat 13? We'll have to wait and see on that one.
Three-rider race only. Representing the Mildenhall Fen Tigers.
Riders back up to tape then for the rerun of heat number 11, as we said earlier on, sponsored by our friends from Sharp. James Cockle in red, Matt Saul in blue for the Warriors, and the Saul Fen Tiger in yellow, Alfie Bowtell.
Second time we're asking then, heat number 11.
Just one single point then, separating the sides, 29 points to 30 in favour of the Fen Tigers. Star Marshal trying to get the riders up to tapes and ready. So here we go. His arms go up. Oh, no green light came on. The tapes malfunctioned. So we're going to have a restart then once again of heat number 11. And we'll take a quick look at the replay of that. As we see the tapes go up on the outside very quickly, but on the inside they decide to remain stationary. Catching James Cockle around the neck, that's going to be very, very sore in the morning. As you can see, he's pulled up and hopefully he's going to be okay. New set of starting tapes then in position. Will we get a race? Will we get 4 laps? What will happen? Third time of asking then. Heat number 11 once again. Going over the riders for the Warriors in red, James Cockle from gate 2. His partner in blue from gate 4 is Matt Saul. And his the Fen Tigers in yellow. The Soul Man is Alfie Bowtell from gate number 3. So Star Marshal then pulling those riders up to the tapes. 3 riders only, with the exclusion there of Dan Halsey as being the cause of the stoppage first time round. Up they go, nice and even this time then. And taking the initiative there is Cockle. Round the first 2 bends he goes, and pulling away slightly at the front then is Cockle. Second place Bowtell, and drifting off around there at the back is Matt Saul. So 4 points so far for the Warriors in this one, and 2 for the Fen Tigers. So that would see the Warriors retake the lead once again just by the single point, if all things stay as they are. Well spread out then, heat number 11. Cockle out front for the Warriors, seemingly untroubled in this race, coming around the top turn there and into the home straight, and the last lap coming up for him. Followed there a little way back by Bowtell for the Fen Tigers, and way at the back is Matt Saul. Checkered flags out, there he goes, and the skipper there, James Cockle in red, takes the 3 points and the win then for the Warriors. Second place for the Fen Tigers in yellow, Alfie Bowtell, and bring up rear, that all important single point then in blue for Matt Saul and the Warriors. 4 points then for the Warriors, takes them on to 33 points. 2 for the Fen Tigers, puts them on to 32. So the Fen Tigers, they retake the lead by that single point.
So on the team number 12, and it's a 3-rider race once again on the Isle of Wight side.
Such a time meeting tonight here at the Andrew Uni Stadium at Smallbrook. Just 1 point once again separating the 2 sides in the advantage so far for the Warriors. Heat number 12 though, this one is sponsored by Meon Accountancy Services Limited, and for the Warriors in red, reserve change ride for Matt Saul, and no rider in blue for the Warriors, so just 1 rider only. For the Fen Tigers in white, Connor Mountain from gate 3, and in yellow we see a reserve change in yellow from gate number 1. We see Chris Widman after his win last time out. Robert Henry, the Fen Tigers team manager, making that change there. Tapes rise and away they go. It's the rider in white that gets the jump on this one, Connor Mountain, who's looked very impressive for the Fen Tigers tonight. But splitting the 2 Fen Tigers in red for the Warriors is Matt Saul there, and Widman surprisingly at the back in this one. Mountain there pulling away at the front, pulling out very, very far as well, but going around the outside, cracking overtake there for the Fen Tigers, Chris Widman, which now puts them on to a maximum heat advantage if it stays like this. and they will go 3 points clear of the Warriors if everything stays like this with just 1 lap to go. Well spread out. Third win of the evening then for the Fen Tigers. Rider in white, Connor Mountain, 3 points to him. Second place is the reserve Chris Widman, giving 2 points to him, and bringing up the rear and that one solitary point in red for the Warriors is Matt Saul. So 1 point then for the Warriors moves them on to 34 points, and a big 5 points for those Fen Tigers moves them on to 37 and 3 points ahead of the Warriors.
Number 12,
So this one counting down. This then is E13. Alan Critcher, the sponsor, and your lineup now looks like this in yellow and black for the Mildenhall Fen Tigers.
E13, unlucky for some, lucky for others. Sponsored by Alan Critcher. For the Warriors in red from gate number 1 is Joe Jacobs. Partnered in blue from gate 3, skipper James Cockle. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate 2, Dan Halsey, and his partner rider replacement ride in yellow from gate 4 for Alfie Bowtell. And we've just had one single point separating the two sides then since heat number 8, and there is a good chance here that we could increase that gap. We'll just see what will happen then. Will it be a 5-1 to the Warriors or the Fen Tigers, or will it be a share of the points? Those tapes rise up. Battle of the big guns, basically heat number 13. The Warriors to the front then, and they're in a 5-1 heat winning position for this one. Can they keep it like this for the 4 laps? Out front in blue is Cockle. Jacobs guarding his rear in second place. Halsey there after that crash earlier on in the evening in third place for the Fen Tigers, having a look all over Jacobs. Former teammates as well, with Jacobs having ridden for those Fen Tigers for several seasons. But Cockle really pulled one out of the bag in this one. Commanding lead for him at the front. Jacobs also pulling away from Halsey back in third place. And bringing up the rear is the rider replacement rider Alfie Bowtell. 1 lap to go. If it stays like this, the Warriors will go back ahead just by that solitary point. And it is a 5-1 then for the Warriors. James Cockle in blue getting a win and 3 points. His partner Joe Jacobs getting 2 points. And for the Fen Tigers, third place and 1 solitary point for the rider in white, Dan Halsey. 5 points then for the Warriors, moves them on to 39, and the Fen Tigers get that 1 point, moves them on to 38.
The Warriors back in the game then, waiting for official word from Bryn. His partner is Matt Saul. Come on, the penultimate heat, 1 more after this, time to make some noise to the boys.
The penultimate race in heat number 14, sponsored by Hypos. Just that 1 point in it going into heat 14. What will happen in this one? With the Warriors rider in red, Mark Baseby from gate 4. Partnered in blue from gate 2 by Matt Saul. For the Fen Tigers in white from gate 1, Connor Coles. And in yellow from gate number 3, Chris Widman. So the pendulum keeps swinging one way to the other. Just a single point. Couldn't be any tighter than that. Out on the centre green there, Chris Popple, the presenter here at Isle of Wight, getting the old crowd excited and cheering. Great to see. Whilst Star Marshal gets some under orders, green light, tapes up. All important race, heat 14. Straight to the front though is Widman, followed by his teammate Connor Coles, with the Warriors at the back in this one. So Baseby in third place, taking a look around the outside. Down the home straight he goes, neck and neck, and he just pips Coles. Can he make it count around turns 1 and 2? Yes, he does, splitting the Fen Tigers pair. Next in line then is Chris Widman, that's his aim up there. But coming under him is Connor Coles having another look. But Baseby, he holds on to make that second place his. Well at the back in this one though. In blue for the Warriors is Matt Saul. So Baseby has a lot of work to do here. Farrell distance to catch up on Widman. Will he be able to do it? Widman goes high, Baseby goes low around turns 3 and 4. Oh, into the last lap. It's seemingly going to be split this way. 4 points for the Fen Tigers and 2 to the Warriors. If it stays like this, last dash. But the Fen Tigers hold on. A race win for the Fen Tigers rider in yellow, Chris Widman, 3 points to him. Second place in red for the Warriors, Mark Baseby, 2 points. And third place for the Fen Tigers in white, Connor Coles. 2 points then for the Warriors, moves them on to 41 points. 4 points to the Fen Tigers. That moves them on to 42. Fen Tigers in the lead once again by that little 1 point. This is it, the all-important last race of the evening, heat number 15. It's the last heat decider. 1 point separates these two sides then, with the Fen Tigers 1 point to the better. 42 points, 41. SBS, EPOS, team sponsors are the Wight Warriors. They sponsor heat number 15. The Fen Tigers, they have elected to take gates 2 and 4, and we see the Warriors in red. Joe Jacobs from gate 1, his partner in blue, James Cockle from gate 3. The Fen Tigers in white, Dan Halsey from gate 2, his partner in yellow from gate 4, Connor Mountain. So everything rests on this then for this national trophy meeting here at the Andrew Uni Stadium at Smallbrook. Next up as well we have Bellevue down here, Bellevue Colts in National League action in 7 days time. Star Marshal brings them under orders, green lights are on for the last time tonight. Those tapes rise. Very tight there going into turn 1. Coming out in front now is the rider in red, Joe Jacobs. His team partner Cockle goes to the second place as well. Looking good for the Warriors then so far in heat 15. Can they stay like this? Can they keep those positions? Can they just win the meeting? Connor Mountain tucks in for third place, and surprised with Dan Halsey at the back in this. Cockle going up wide. Is he going to go around his teammate? He does so as well. Cockle into first place then in blue with Jacobs in second. Halsey now around his own team partner coming out of bend 2. Down the back straight, he moves into third place. Mountain tucks back up inside as Halsey makes a little mistake, but he fights back into third place for that 1 point. But it's the last lap. Could this be a last second dash here from Halsey? He goes up wide again. He can't make the ground up, but it's a big 5 points and a meeting 1 for the Warriors. In blue, taking 3 points. The winner, James Cockle, backed up all the way by his partner in red, Joe Jacobs, and 2 points to him. And Dan Halsey for the Fen Tigers in white picks up that 1 point. 5 points then for the Warriors. They move on to 46 points. And the Fen Tigers, they get 1 point. They move on to 43. Taking a look across the individual score charts. First of all, our visitors, the Mildenhall Fen Tigers. Dan Halsey scored 9 points from 6 rides. Alfie Bowtell, 5 and 2 bonus from 5 rides. Connor Mountain, he scored 11 from 6 rides. Connor Coles, their skipper, scored 7 and a bonus from 5 rides. Rider replacement was operated for Jon Armstrong. And Lee Springthorpe, the guest, he scored 3 points from 3 rides. Chris Widman, 9 and 2 bonus then from 5 rides, giving a total there for the Fen Tigers, 43 points. For the Warriors, Joe Jacobs on his debut, 12 points and 2 bonus from 5 rides. Kelsey Dugard, 5 and 1 bonus from 4 rides. Lee Smart, 1 point from 2 rides, and he was withdrawn from the meeting. Mark Baseby, 10 points from 4 rides. James Cockle, the skipper, 13 points from 5 rides. Matt Saul, 5 points from 7 rides. And Tyler Govier, failing to score, withdrawn from the meeting in the first heat. gives the Warriors a total of 46. Coming out the winners then, 46 points, 43 in this national trophy. And we head inside to the bar for a couple of interviews before wrapping everything up with the Warriors Speedway down here at Smallbrook and speedwayportal.com. And we've got some interviews on the boat as well. We've got Vicky with us. Vicky's birthday today, so many happy returns from everyone here at Island Speedway and also from Speedway Portal. Apparently, Little Bird tells me you're out on the centre green today for the second time ever. What's it actually like watching the racing from a different angle?
Frightening.
Frightening. Is that because of the speed? So the speed difference looks so fast out there.
The trouble is, on the actual sitting away from the track, you've got no idea of the speed they're actually generating until you actually get onto the centre green, and you can see for yourself. But the speed is just absolutely phenomenal.
Do you think that's something that every supporter should get a chance to do? Go and watch out on the centre green so they can see the difference.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I do. But the simple fact is, it's all right for people saying all speedway riders are going slow and that, but they've got no idea to go on the centre green, just how fast they are going.
Tell us a bit about your speedway viewing on the clubs that you support.
I do Pool on the Wednesday, here on the Thursday, Somerset on the Friday, Cycle Speedway on a Saturday or Sunday. Got a day off Monday, back to Cycle Speedway Tuesday, Pool Wednesday, back to here Thursday and Somerset on Friday.
So you got quite a busy week then?
Yeah.
So that's every week throughout the season, you do that constantly?
Yeah, plus the away trips as well.
Crikey, how do you actually fit that in?
Well, I've got Bank Holiday Monday, I'm at Swindon, because Poole haven't got a fixture. So yeah, and I've got the Premier League 4s coming up at Peterborough. So yeah, I'm fairly busy. None of it would be possible without my actual carer and driver to transport me to these tracks.
Okay, excellent. Well, Vicky, many happy returns once again from everyone down here at Island Speedway and Speedway Portal. And thank you very much for your support for the club.
Thank you.
We've got a promoter with us and he doubled up as team manager tonight. And you won by 3 points. How did that feel against the Fen Tigers?
It felt absolutely fantastic, to be honest with you. To lose two of our riders, Tyler and Smarty, Tyler in his first ride, Smarty in his second ride, I thought, oh, here we go, Eastbourne all over again. But the guys did fantastic. It was just a fantastic result. The meeting was ding dong, 1 point ahead, 1 point behind. It was great, absolutely great. Very, very proud of everyone.
Is it really difficult, for a meeting like that, to actually team manage?
Well, it's probably the one situation when you really have to team manage in this league because Matt Saul obviously has 7 rides. And so I had to look at which of our riders he could take. So he could take either Lee Smart's or Tyler's ride. So it's basically looking down to see where Matt would add the most value in each race. So, and of course, at the same time, bearing in mind 7 races around the Smallbrook circuit is really hard to do. And you should be really commended for his performance tonight because it's not easy.
How do you think the lads are coming on so far?
I think they're coming on great. I think they're finally dialed in. Cockle had a fantastic night tonight. It's great to see him on full form. Very, very happy with our new number 1, Joe Jacobs. He was brilliant. And Baseby had some fantastic rides. And also Matt was very, very good as well. So, and young Kelsey, he did really well. He's just come back from injury, so very happy.
Okay, you got Joe in. Is it for a month that you got Joe, and have you got an option for after that?
We have Joe for a month, which is a contract that he signed, and we'll see what happens after that.
So 20 years ago, tell us what happened this day 20 years ago.
Well, 20 years ago I was like that, a little bit thinner, and I was still in the Navy at the time, and I was riding for the White Wizards, as we were then known, and it was the inaugural meeting. It's a fantastic event, 3,000 in the crowd, place was rammed, it was brilliant, and I scored 6 points, so very happy.
Okay, Barry, thank you very much, and many congratulations on the 3-point win tonight. We've got the Warriors skipper, James Cockle, with us tonight. 13 points, James, 3-point win as well. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, it's good. I needed a meeting like that under my belt. Been struggling myself. Had a few troubles tonight, but we got over it, and it was sorted. And to win in Heat 15, to bring the match back, it was excellent. It's a good feeling, and to be part of it.
You had some great races out there tonight as well. Is it nice to get all of those wins?
There in front of you all the time and making starts, it makes life a lot easier, but I felt quick tonight. We've had gremlins and the thing I changed tonight, I can't believe that it made the bike so different. I ain't going to tell no one, obviously, but yeah, it was the bike felt good, I felt good. It's just a matter of turning up to a meeting, and I never know if it's going to be any better because I'm just clutching at straws, you know. But yeah, it felt good. The track was good, a bit rough, but yeah, I enjoyed myself tonight. Yeah.
You think you're dialing in now to the circuit?
Yeah, I think it's that as well as getting fit with the track as well. It's a big track, it's hard to ride, you know. But yeah, it's getting fitter and just getting laps on the bike, and yeah, I do feel a lot better now.
Next week we've got a visit to the Bellevue Colts. What do you think about that meeting?
I'd love to say we're going to win, but they've got a team at the moment where their bottom end is their lad scoring 17, 18 points. He guested for us at Wolverhampton, scored double figures. So and that was in the main body of the team. So yeah, I think we've got a hard task on our hands, but never say never. It's always doable.
A little birdie tells me as well you could do a little bit of help in the pits.
Yeah, I could massively do help in the pits most weeks at the island. It's starting to drain me a bit, to be honest. It's hard work for me to do it, drive everywhere, and then start doing my own bikes in between races, and then go out again, and instead of relaxing and being prepared for the next race. It would be nice. So anyone out there?
All right, and James, we wish you all the best. Well done on tonight's performance as well and the victory. Let's hope you can do the same next week.
I did say that when I won that individual, but yeah, hopefully this is the actual proper start of winning races.
Thank you very much, James.